Swan eluded his cameraman to go on a clandestine errand. An errand so important, he missed a band meeting. He was acting erratically, went to the bank right beforehand. This all points to one thing.
Drugs.
Drugs.
That's an interesting theory, but that is pure speculation.
Actually, it's not. Pure speculation would be Swan purchasing thermonuclear technology to have a scientist making an amplifier that went all the way to 12. This, musicians buying drugs, that's just Monday morning's crossword.
Lainey's got something she wants us to see.
Laney? Who's Laney?
Lainey is our medical examiner, and she works at the morgue, and she's got information that she wants us to see, and we are keeping her waiting.
Still a little stiff.
Certainly she could tighten that up, but she's getting better.
Victims' blood panels came back.
Let me guess. Drugs.
Nope. This was one clean, living rock star. In fact, it's not what he put in his body, it's what he didn't. James had no antibodies for polio.
He never had the polio vaccine.
Well, everyone born since the early 1960s got that vaccine.
That's what I thought. He also had no antibodies for tetanus, measles, whooping cough, all standard immunizations.
What else?
Isn't that enough?
Lainey, usually if you have something like this for me, just call me over the phone.
Well, I thought it was worth the trip.
I was looking into our Vic's medical records, my little research project. Turns out he has no records. Birth, medical, student transcripts, nothing. The first time James Swan pops up was when he was 17. When he was hospitalized for a car accident in Ithaca, New York.
Why does Ithaca keep coming up?
Because that's where he's from. I checked the address in the ER records, traced it to a 20-acre compound owned by the Church of Worldly Enlightenment.
Whoa, guys, wait a second. I've read about this place. It's a cult.
That's why he doesn't have any vaccinations, and that's why he doesn't have a family. He grew up in a cult.
The only way to leave was to escape. The compound is walled, and the cult practices strict obedience. Everyone tattoos the word serve on the forearm.
Serve. Remember James's tattoo? Observe? He must have added the O and the B sometime after he got out.
But when the band played Ithaca, maybe somebody recognized him.
Which is why he was afraid that someone was following him.
James had reason to be afraid. John Campbell, the cult's leader. Guy's a total psycho with a violent past. He did 10 years for murder before starting the whole church scam.
Mr. Campbell, where were you between midnight and 2 a.m. the night that James Swan was killed?
I was in my hotel room.
Can anyone vouch for that?
Well, I was meditating. Solitude's a very important part of my evening ritual.
So that'd be a no.
So what are you doing in town?
Working for my church. Fundraising, recruiting mostly.
Fundraising. Interesting term for making James Swan pay for his freedom.
It's no secret that James and I had met. But he certainly didn't need to buy his freedom. We're all free.
Mr. Campbell, we know that James had 25 grand in cash with him when he went to see you, and that he no longer had that money once he left.
James may have made a donation to the church, but I make it a point not to discuss those matters.
Okay, so then why don't we discuss Ithaca? About a month ago, James and his band had a concert there, and he said that afterwards he was concerned that someone was coming after him. Now, I think that someone was you.
I'm sorry, but I had no idea James was in town last month.
I don't think that's accurate. I think that you're upset with him for cutting the cord with your church, and so you started tracking
That's
him.
not true.
He gave you a donation so that you would leave him alone.
That's not
but that
true.
wasn't enough, was it? You wanted revenge.
No.
So you followed him to
Enough.
his trailer, and then you killed him in a fit of rage.
Enough!